right?
Yeah.
I'm Sergeant Andrew R. Fincher. I am with the Atlanta Police Department Zone 1 Field Operations Morning Watch.
So tell me about May 18th, 2021.
Fairly steady night. I'd actually stopped in a parking lot and was taking a look at the pending calls, and very strangely, very ironically, as I notice a traffic hazard in the pending, a gentleman pulls up alongside me and says, "Officer, there's a car stopped in the left lane on the interstate," which is exactly what I was looking at that time. A disabled vehicle you'd think is not that big of an emergency, but if you're in the lane of travel or if you've ever been out on the freeway, it's extremely dangerous. I advised dispatch I was going to head that way. As I was going, I actually could see a semi-truck over the wall. I was traveling northbound. I could see a semi-truck struggling to come to a stop and come to the right shoulder. And I could see a cloud of dust, and I knew something bad had happened. By the time I turned around at Hollowell Parkway and got back to the scene, the vehicle was decimated. It was absolutely destroyed. They had broken down in this #1 lane and no lights and in a slight curve. So when you're any motor vehicle, substantial weight, let alone a semi, and at speed. One of the occupants of the vehicle had gotten out, thankfully, and was on the median wall. Unfortunately, the second occupant was actually sitting in the vehicle when the semi struck. I got up to the car. She was unresponsive. Visibly, she looked, you'd think she was just unconscious, but I know from experience and from this job, and I knew it was bad. She had suffered a full force impact. I couldn't get a pulse off of her. She was not breathing. I immediately I gave a brief call for additional units on the radio, and then I went to work and went with chest compressions to try to keep her with us until I could at least get medical personnel in there and we could do what we needed to do to try to save her.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. Talk to me, sweetheart.
Fire.
Starting CPR. Come on, baby.
Yeah, that's fine now. Come here, bro.
Stay with me, baby.
Everybody go code 3. Give me some fire.
Stay with me. Radio, I know it's not on you, but I need fire and I need it now. 114 just switched off on compressions for me.
So if you got this, go ahead and notify you. Do your supervisor.
I don't know. Get up there and get ready to switch off on CPR.
Hey, controlling it.
What was going through your mind when you noticed that she didn't have a pulse and she didn't appear to be breathing? What were you thinking?
It's about, can you transfer the energy that you would for your family member? That's my family member that's there in the car. And if I can't put that energy into trying to save that person or what I can do for that person, it's a disservice to them, it's a disservice to me, and it's a disservice to this profession. I have to lead from the front. I can't sit behind a desk and tell my officers to do something that I'm not going to go out there and do or show them how to do. So at that moment, she was my family member, and I was going to do what I could to get her, and I wanted her to hear me. If I could get a pulse, I wanted her to hear me and let her know that, no matter what happened, at least if these are her final moments, she knows she's not alone.
So let's go back to the incident scene. All of you were working to doing chest compressions. You were doing life-saving measures the entire time, and then later you learned that she had actually succumbed to her injuries. How does that feel? What goes through your head when you get that news?
I find some comfort in the fact that we managed to overcome that and keep her heart going to at least give her a chance. With the injuries that she had less than a 1 in 3 chance of survival. But I was hopeful. I was very hopeful, and it was emotional. But I had hoped, and I got in touch with the investigators, and I let them know that I wanted to know if she pulls through or what happens. At least I know that in some universe, she knew we were there and we were trying.